You're tuned into the Average Joe Sports Show by there. Keep it Kilbasa Canto playing.
908. That was Maroon 5 right there with Maps. You're listening to the Average Joe Sports Show. And foolish me, I fired off the wrong intro for me right there. But it's all good. It's Senior Airman Kellen Carr here. And also in the studio with me to my left right now. Got a new one to the Average Joe Sports Show. I got all new guys in here for the Average Joe Sports Show. We got Derek McCagran. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. Having a great Friday.
It's good to have you in here, especially you reached out to me the other day on not Facebook, via email.
Correct.
And you said we always tossing out there how we want to have different guys come in the studio, and it's good. We got some new blood in here. So
yep.
Derek McCagran, you are now D-Mac here
on the
how
about
Average
that?
Joe's Sports Show.
I'll take it.
Everybody's got nicknames. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Texas. And I've been in Yokota here for about 2 years now.
Where you work at here?
I work at the chapel. I'm their account manager.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So come in here and spit some sports knowledge to us.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate that. And also straight in front of me, we got A1C Duckworth in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, not much.
It's good to have you on the show, the Average Joes. What do you bring into the table today?
Just representing AFN. I've been here about a month on Yokota. I'm originally from around Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. I'm having a great time. Good Friday morning, just looking to talk some sports,
Who are your sports teams?
My college team is Ohio State, so I'm not too happy right now.
Florida boy, repping Ohio State.
My dad's from Ohio, so
Okay.
Born and bred, so.
All right, we'll take that. I guess. AMC Duckworth, we got to come up with a nickname for him.
I guess.
I don't want to state the obvious. Like it could easily be Ducky
or Donald Duck.
It's everything's been said.
Everything has been said. All right, you gotta be Ducky the rest of the show, man.
I'll
roll
roll
just
with
keep it simple. All right, and over here to my right, you got Tech Sergeant Derek Smith. How you doing, brother? Ryan Smith.
That's
Derek
enough.
McCagran, Ryan Smith. Holy moly! Sorry about that, Tech Sergeant Smith. D-Smooth.
What's up with all the D's?
I don't know.
Are we the D club? Are we the D group?
I guess so. No, why would you be D-Smooth? Because your name is Ryan. Wow, I'm messing up big time right now because I was saying Derek. I keep thinking Derek in my head.
We'll just go with R-Smooth.
R-Smooth?
R-Smooth.
So, R-Smooth. Where you repping?
I'm originally from Columbus, Indiana. It's about 20 miles south of Indianapolis. Huge Indianapolis fan. Colts.
Pacers,
Colts.
I was actually a Pacers fan growing up. I was a Reggie Miller fan.
PG-13.
PG-13. Man, I hope he comes back the same. Why'd y'all let go of Lance Stevenson? Holy moly. Lance Stevenson, you know that was a loss now, especially with PG-13 gone.
I think he won a little too much money.
You think he won? You don't think he was worth it? He had more triple-doubles last year than anybody in the league. All right, we're going to talk more sports. We're going to be talking more here in a moment. We're going to actually start out with a fantasy football review. Football season is here, and we actually got, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers playing on AFN Sports, so make sure you check that out. But we're going to go through top quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, all of that here in a moment. We're going to get to the music, so stay tuned here on the Average Joe Sports Show. 9:14, Megan Trainor right there with All About the Bass. And we're all about the beats here in the morning cruise control. But just right now, it's the Average Joe Sports Show. Got D-Mac, Ducky, and R-Smoothe in the studio. We got this is fresh blood in the studio right now with us. And let's go ahead and get into it. We're doing our fantasy football review. And we're going to go through each position, fantasy football, and just talk about our top player and why. And then I'll ask you who's the overall number one. Go ahead and start with you, D-Mac. Your number one, your top quarterback.
My top quarterback is going to have to be Peyton Manning. The reason being, nobody has ever had as good a year as he did last year. And it's not like he lost big weapons. Yes, he lost Eric Decker. He lost Noshawn Moreno. But then again, Monty Ball's in the backfield now, and he got Emmanuel Sanders, who is just waiting to explode. And nobody knew
right there.
Nobody knew who Eric Decker was, basically, until Peyton got there and just exposed his talent. But he's a smart quarterback. He's always had knowledge of the game, and I see him doing great things again this year. So, that's my pick.
All right, Peyton Manning. Ducky, who you got, bro?
I'm gonna have to go with Drew Brees. If it wasn't for Peyton Manning last year, he would have been number one. He's consistently performing at a high level. He says that he thinks he can still go 10 years is what it was.
He said until he's 45.
I mean, with the offense that they run, he's always going to be putting up points. He's going to be throwing, till his arm doesn't work anymore. And I think this year he's going to get it.
After he made that comment, they tested him just a day later for PEDs. Like legitimate, true story, tested him for PEDs because they're thinking, this dude's talking about he can go to a 45. He must be on something. But all right, and R-Smoothe, who you got, brother?
I'm kind of stuck between two quarterbacks. Drew Stafford from Detroit. He's added another weapon with Tate.
Oh yeah,
And
Megatron.
They throw the ball a lot there.
They
too.
throw the ball
They do.
a lot. Their defense is mid level in the league.
Yep, and that's things you got to focus on.
So they got to come back. So
Yep.
they're throwing the ball a lot. And then also, Andrew Luck. I know it's my team, but he's added a lot of weapons out there. He's got Dwayne Allen back. He's got Reggie Wayne back, in the addition to Hakeem Nicks in his best shape if he's ever in his career. Things could get interesting in there in Indianapolis.
It most definitely could. All right, let's move on to running backs. Who you got, D-Mac?
Well, I can flip a coin either between Jamal Charles or LaShawn McCoy, but I like LaShawn McCoy because the
JC.
offense. Yeah, I like what do they call him? Shady McCoy.
Yeah.
They got a good offense with Chip Kelly. In the second year, it's only going to roll smoother, and it's also Andy Reid's second year in Kansas City. So who knows what he has in store for Jamal Charles? So it's a toss-up. I could flip a coin between either one of these running backs.
Most definitely. I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased. Jamal Charles, my man, but
Texas boy.
I understand that. All right, Ducky, what's up, bro?
I'm gonna have to go with Adrian Peterson. I mean, he's just he consistently performs. He's a workhorse for the team. I don't really trust their quarterback situation still, so they're gonna have to be giving him the rock a lot. I was amazed at how he came back from his knee surgery.
Came back bigger, better, faster, didn't he?
Talk
And
about
stronger.
testing
And
somebody.
stronger.
Yeah, talk about needing to test somebody. I mean, I'm just kidding, but it's got to be him if I can get him.
All right, R-Smoothe, top running back for you.
And I always get to go last, so
I know,
everybody
I'm gonna have you go first this
everybody
next
gets to
time.
speak on their
No,
quarterback.
I'm gonna have you go first this next time.
Jamal Charles, McCoy and Peterson are probably the best three running backs in the
Definitely.
league. So I think if
Put Forte in there too.
Yeah, Forte as well, but I think they like to throw the ball a bit more than the other teams do. With like his comment about the quarterback situation there in Minneapolis. You got a pretty big workhorse in the backfield. I had to go with Adrian Peterson.
All right, and nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna start with you now. R-Smoothe, receiver. Who you going with? Top pick.
That's an easy one. Actually not actually an easy one. You either got Demaryius Thomas from Denver, or you got Megatron in Detroit. I'm going to go with Megatron. I'll go with Megatron.
Okay, all right. I see some faces made. Ducky, what do you say, brother?
I'm going to go with Brandon Marshall, actually. I mean, as you were talking about, they like to throw it a lot there, and I've seen him, he catches balls in traffic,
he
whatever.
does.
I mean, he's that guy. And last year he did it, the year before, and, I don't see how it's going to change any different. I mean, Megatron's a good pick, but, I'm going to go with Marshall.
D-Mac, who's your receiver, man?
I want to go with A.J. Green and also Des Bryant. A.J. Green's always up there good, but the only thing I have a problem with him is Andy Dalton. Is kind of inconsistent sometimes, but A.J. Green is his primary guy. And Des Bryant, I mean, come on. Romo loves him, and he always throws to him.
Hey, you know what? The guy you guys aren't talking about that I'm a little disappointed about, Julio Jones, man. When Julio Jones is
How
healthy,
could I forget
when
him?
Julio Jones is healthy, he's not quite to the tier Calvin Johnson is, but he's there.
I thought you were going to say Debo.
No, I
Kansas City guy.
No, man, Debo's not gonna get the ball enough. He might catch 60 balls this year, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Top tight end, who we got? We got it. Top tight end, go
let's
ahead.
see here. I'm going to go with either Jimmy Graham or Julius Thomas. I'm going to leave Gronkowski out of this picture.
Yes.
My
He hasn't
pick.
proven himself.
No.
But I'm gonna choose Jimmy Graham. He's a beast. Drew Brees loves him, and I got to go with him.
And he's very mad because he didn't get that receiver money, so
That's
he's probably
right.
gonna play with a
He's
chip on his shoulder.
And you can see a lot of spikes. I can see
Definitely.
a lot of spikes on the end zone this year instead of dunks because of that penalty that they established for him, the Jimmy Graham penalty,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah, I'm kind of
It's silly.
not
It
feeling
is
those
silly.
penalties. I'm going to go with Thomas. I mean, Peyton Manning loves to target him. With the loss of Decker, whatever, he's going to be going to him more. I just don't really. It was either between him or Graham, and I just like Thomas more. I think he's got more upside.
All right, R-Smooth.
I'm going to go with Thomas as well. And the reason why I go with Thomas is because Peyton Manning is his quarterback, and he likes to dink and dunk all the way down the field. And when you get inside that
That he
10-yard
does.
line, your tight end is your guy that's going to be open, quickly. And can get that ball in the traffic.
For me, it's Jimmy Graham. I got to go Jimmy Graham just because, again, Drew Brees throws the ball everywhere, but Jimmy Graham is the one that's his go-to guy. Used to be Colston. Colston's aging now. Injuries got to him. I got to go Jimmy. And real quick, we're going to do defense and kickers. Just go ahead and do them at the same time.
Okay, all right. Defense, I'm going to choose Carolina because their sacks that they had last year. I can only see it improving this year. And As far as kicker, I mean, you can throw it up there anywhere. Dan Bailey or Justin Tucker. I like Justin Tucker because he's a Texas boy and he's good at Baltimore, and he's always got them out of thick situations with, in the playoffs and such.
All right.
There you go.
Ducky, who you got, man?
For
defense,
defense,
and kicker.
I've got to go with the Seahawks. I mean, last year, what did they allow? Like the fewest points in history or something like that? I mean,
Tough.
I don't see how they haven't really changed all that much. Their guys are healthy. You know, it's just going to be the same thing. I think people are just going to have to work around it. More offense over defense. For kicker, I got to go with Prater, just because of
all the extra points he's going to get.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking those extra points. The Broncos have already looked like they're in mid-season form, and we're only halfway through preseason. And I think it's just how it's going to be.
Okay. All right, R-Smoothe, what you got, brother?
For defense, I think there's going to be a couple teams out there that are going to surprise a lot of people. I think Oakland's one of them.
Oh, Oakland made some. They made some upgrades.
And I actually think
Justin Tuck now.
Yeah.
I think Denver made some pretty big progress in their defense.
DeMarcus Ware was a huge pickup, and then Aqib Talib. Man, that was monstrous.
They picked up some big name defensive players, so I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They definitely got exposed in the Super Bowl.
Definitely. For myself personally, I like the Seahawks as well. They didn't. I mean, obviously, people are going to adjust to the Seahawks, so it's not going to be as easy this year. But I think they're still young enough and fresh enough that it's kind of like the Ravens D for years. They're going to be good for a few years to come at least. Yeah. So I got to go Seahawks D. And then kicker, man, y'all are leaving out Blair Walsh. My man,
Robbie Gould.
My man was kicking 70-yard field goals in practice the
Yes,
other day.
he was.
Blair
Yes,
Walsh
he was.
is a monster, and they love to use him all the time. I mean, they kick a lot. Minnesota kicks a lot, so we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. We'll have your lightning round coming up in a bit, and also we'll have that Kanto connection here on the Average Joe Sports Show.
All right, guys, Dicka versus Category 5 Hurricane. Who you got?
I'm going to have to side with Mother Nature on this one.
Squirrel, you obviously don't know the true powers of Dicka's moose-laden hair. Dicka could stop any natural disaster with the flick of his mustache.
All right, 9:31. We're back here in the Eagle 810 studio. It's the Average Joe Sports Show. I'm SrA Kellen Carr, and I got my guests here, D-Mac, Ducky, and R-Smoothe. Tech Sergeant Ryan Smith in the studio with us. And now it's time for what we like to call the lightning round here. And fellas, you got about 10 seconds in order to get out your topics, talk about it, and when that buzzer goes off, it moves on to the next individual. So, first one, Derrick Rose, they pulled him out of the exhibition game. Now, if you're the Chicago Bulls, do you even want him playing in the World Championships right now? I'm going to start with you, D-Mac.
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm paying you $18.8 million this year. I'm paying you $20 million next year and $21 million the year after that. I'm not paying you to be a World Championship player. You are an employee of the Chicago Bulls, and you should act that way. Stay on the Bulls.
Oh, Ducky. What you got, man?
I'd say no. I mean, he's coming off of a knee injury. He came off of another knee injury before that. I mean, it's risky. And, I mean, he's not getting paid to be on an international stage. He's getting paid to play for the Bulls. So,
all right. And R-Smoothe, what do you say to that, brother?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree that he shouldn't be playing on the national world team. He's coming off two pretty bad injuries. And personally, because I have a player that was on the team that is now out for the season because he played on the world team in PG-13.
You know what? For me, I'm looking at it as from an executive standpoint. We haven't seen Derrick Rose play solid ball in, 2-3 years now?
Yeah, he hasn't played a full season in a
I
long
actually
time.
want to see him play in the World Championships. I want to see if he's going to be the player that he was a few years ago. Otherwise, I can start preparing. If he gets hurt in the World Championships, at least it's not in the middle of the season when we thought he was going to be there for us. That's how I look at it. All right, moving on. Now, former NFL referee Mike Carey, 24-year veteran. He retired after the 2013 season. He requested off the Washington Redskins game back in 2006. Said he wouldn't do any more games because he felt like their name was disrespectful. Now, should the NFL have granted his request, or should they have made him play, made him ref?
I say that they should have granted his request, be more respectful to his beliefs as a referee. At the same time, I do not think they need to change their name. What's next? Notre Dame Irish, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cowboys? What's the next team that's going to be disrespectful to people? I mean, the Redskins have been the Redskins for a long time, so I think it should stay that way.
Ducky.
I mean, you let the guy do what he wants to do. If it's against his beliefs or whatever, I'd say okay, but I'm also not in favor of the name change. It's been there for a while. It wasn't offensive for a long time, I don't think, and now people are talking about it for whatever reason.
R-Smoothe, what you got, man?
That's kind of a touchy subject, with a lot of people, as far as, names and backgrounds. And
Definitely.
But I think Redskins or any kind of name with a sports team, that's kind of a respected, that you're something like fierce, a respected eagle or anything like that.
Yeah, and you know what? I can see both sides of this story, and I normally don't like to play the fence. I like to just pick a side, but it is one of those, it's a touchy subject. I look at it like, you know what, the NFL, that's the company you work for. If you're supposed to schedule the work for that game, you need to work that game. Now, at the same time, as far as the name change is concerned, if there's a group of individuals, a large group of individuals who are completely disrespected by it, I mean, it's up to that owners. Dan Snyder's got some big decisions to make. So, all right, moving on. Speaking of owners, Steve Ballmer bought the Los Angeles Clippers for $2 billion. Now, is there any chance that the Los Angeles Clippers could be more popular than the Lakers?
I say so. With Blake Griffin being there for the last few years, their popularity's already gone up. And what's his owner trying to do? Is he trying to pull a LeBron James? I mean, come on. He did the pet rally just like LeBron did the big decision. I mean, I could see good things happen for the Clippers.
Ducky.
It's possible. I mean, nowadays everything's, so viral. It moves so quickly. If he can generate a lot of, electricity and enthusiasm with a young fan base, he might be able to swing it. And Lakers aren't looking so good right now.
All right, R-Smoothe.
Yeah, Ballmer's got deep pockets, and he already paid $2 billion for a sports team. So he's not paying that amount of money to have a mediocre team. He's got something to prove, and I think they're going to win some championships in the next 5 years.
You know what? I think I got to look at it like this. How many championships do the Clippers have?
That's a goose egg, isn't it?
Exactly. The Lakers, they have so many. I don't see that ever happening. I think L.A. that's the Lakers town. No matter how bad the Lakers are, it'll always be the Lakers town. But, all right, the preseason, we've seen it in the NFL, they're doing the longer field goals this year.
Yeah, for the extra points. Yeah.
The extra points are stepping them back. Should it stay or should it go?
I think it should stay. It gives coaches and owners more insight to draft kickers, and also it'll give the changes in the game. Make changes. If they miss it, they got to go for two next. Makes it more interesting.
All right. Ducky, what do you say?
I like the change. I feel like it's been too easy to get an extra point. I mean, it was almost like a matter of fact thing. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the extra point. So I like it. It makes makes it different.
All right, R-Smoothe.
Yeah, having a longer field or extra point is pretty important. Because you could have anybody go out there and I think kick the extra point in the past. I think you could even do it. But like D-Mac over there was saying, it's going to prove that the kickers are worth more money than they're getting currently.
All right, and Johnny Football, he lost his starting position. He is now back up. R-Smoothe, I'm gonna start with you on this one. How do you feel about that? Do you think the middle finger salute was what lost him the job?
I don't think it's just this middle finger salute. I think it's his demeanor throughout preseason. He was late to a practice. It's his middle finger. I don't even think his play has been that great. So his
numbers were actually a little bit better than Hoyer's though in the preseason.
But his maturity level is very, very low. And
all right, Ducky.
Yeah, he's shown immaturity throughout his college career and into his pro career now. I think it's kind of the management just saying, we're going to go with the veteran. We're going to see what he can do, and then if needed, we'll go to you.
D-Mac.
I say both shoddy play and that he's disrespectful to other teams. Also, as far as Hoyer, I tell you one quarterback that overshot them both, and that's Connor Shaw out of South Carolina. He did very well. And Johnny Football doesn't even shave yet, so he shouldn't be in the NFL.
All right, and R-Smoothe, I'm going to start with you again on this one. Last one, real quick. Kevin Durant, he got this big deal from Under Armour, over $200 million. They offered it. They're pitching it to Nike now, saying, they're offered us $200 million for the next 10 years. Is Kevin Durant worth all of that?
Kevin Durant, it's what the business wants to pay. If they want to foot that kind of bill to Kevin Durant, then so be it. He's a great guy. He's a very respectable player around the league. He's actually one of my top 3 players in the league, just because he doesn't mouth or talk. I think he's worth it. It's just a matter of what the company wants to pay.
Ducky.
I don't know. I mean, he's arguably the number 2 guy in the NBA behind LeBron James, but that's 10% of their marketing share for
exactly
a year. Yes. I mean, that's a lot to put into one guy.
Yes.
I don't know.
D-Mac, you're making faces. What?
Well, I just disagree with his statement being behind LeBron. I think he's ahead of LeBron. I think he's the number 1 guy in the league.
No.
That is crazy.
I put Kevin Durant against anybody in the NBA and guarantee he beats a one-on-one.
When Kevin Durant,
but he deserves this. He deserves this endorsement deal.
When Kevin Durant starts playing defense, that's when he can start challenging LeBron for the best player. LeBron guards 1 through 5 on the floor. I haven't seen Kevin Durant do that. I haven't seen Kevin Durant
get his assists up as well.
He definitely does. And better rebounder. He's 6'11", 6'10", 6'11". He should be averaging 10 rebounds a game, easy. Hey, we got to jump back into the music. It's the Average Joe Sports Show. That was our lightning round. And folks, if you want to call in, you got an opinion on anything, hit us up. 225-2379 is the number. Here's Coldplay, A Sky Full of Stars.
And here's what the Joes have on their mind today.
9:45 back here in the Eagle 810 studios, the Average Joe Sports Show. I'm Kellen. I got my man D-Mac, Ducky, and R-Smoothe in the studio. And if you want to, put a face to the voice, go ahead and check out AFN Tokyo, the official page. Like us on there. We have their pictures posted up there. And three gentlemen, you guys, first time on the show, and you guys did a fantastic job. But we're not done here yet. We got to talk about what's on your mind. So, D-Mac, I'm going to start with you. What's on your mind, brother?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm getting kind of fed up with all these high-profile players, and not just the NFL, but all sports. I mean, getting in trouble with, beating of their wives or girlfriends, in trouble with drugs, in trouble with the law. They're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to just do their sport. And if I'm getting paid that money, all I'm doing is working out, staying at the home, going to practices, and going to games. I'm not out at the club.
Practice.
We're talking about practice.
We're talking about anything. The last thing that's on my mind is, going to clubs and going and doing drugs and stuff like that. They have to take their family in account with all that stuff. I mean, they get fined, they get suspended. They're losing that money, and the lifestyle that these players give to their families. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. They expect more.
You know what? I completely agree with everything you said, but, just being a man and just knowing how people are. Some of these guys are coming in, they're 20-some years old, early 20s.
They haven't lived yet.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you're right, the ones that have families, there's definitely no excuse. There's no excuse, period. But you got to understand, you're giving these college kids basically millions of dollars, and then they have women throwing themselves at them. They have their friends coming out the woodworks. Everybody wants to be there, and they're not getting the best advice. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be some kind of program set up where they're getting more guidance, or maybe that's where the veterans come and grab that. And you know what? How do we know it's not happening behind the scenes? I can't say that maybe teams aren't doing that. And some of these kids, like a Manziel, he needs somebody to grab him and just pull him aside and be like, hey, bro.
Slap him on the head.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what he needs, because he's going to find himself. I think him being on the bench might be more trouble than good. You know what I'm saying? Him not, because then he goes in, and I was talking with somebody earlier about this. We were talking about Manziel. Now he's not starting, so now he has more time to go out and just blow off and do whatever. How we know he's not gonna get himself in trouble outside. So you make a good point though. So I like that. What's on your mind, Ducky?
Well, it's got to be Braxton Miller going down to injury. I'm an Ohio State fan, so there's not much else really that happened this past week that grabbed my attention like that. I'm just going to kind of be interested to see, if J.T. Barrett can step in, fill those shoes. I mean, previously, Ohio State, we hadn't had any freshman quarterbacks for like 50 years, and then we had 3 in a row. So hopefully, he'll do it. I don't know. I mean, I'm confident in Urban Meyer's coaching.
You sound really down.
I mean, you
look at it.
Really down.
When you got somebody like who accounts for 69% of the team's offense and one of the most highly powered offenses last year, by the numbers, how are you going to replace him? So,
it's hard to.
It definitely is. R-Smoothe, what's on your mind, brother?
What's on my mind is a sport that we haven't really talked about. It's hockey. Hockey's about to start as well. I'm a huge
Go Predators.
I'm a huge Colorado Avalanche fan.
I understand you're a hockey player yourself.
I do. I
you
play here locally.
Actively play.
I do. I'm playing in a Max Cup right now. It's a month-long tournament here in the Tokyo area.
Oh wow.
We play down at the Daiko Drink Center Coliseum each weekend. We're actually playing this Saturday and Sunday, if you wouldn't mind coming out.
Go ahead and check them out.
11 p.m.
11 p.m.?
If you can stay up all night.
Are you serious?
I swear.
You guys play at 11 p.m.?
11 p.m.
Well, we got curfew. I know you don't. You don't. But I do.
Right. But the Colorado Avalanche, they were the youngest team in the league last year. The year before, they were the worst team. Got first-round pick. Drafted Nathan McKinnon. And we went to the second-best record. Lost second round playoffs. We should do a lot better with Derek Waugh behind the bench. Looking really. I can't wait till hockey season starts. And to piggyback on your comment about the athletes acting out of control, and you made a comment about these veterans need to kind of pick these guys up and teach them something.
Yeah.
The Avalanche actually their veterans have the rookies live with them for the first year.
Do they really?
Oh, wow.
They do.
That's good stuff right there.
They bring them in the home and they live in their house for the first year.
That's a good thing.
To
it's kind of like
show them the ropes a little bit as far as being a sports figure in that city.
and being a sports figure and then being a millionaire. I mean, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
These kids are millionaires, you know?
Right.
All right, so what's on my mind is the big thing going on, the ALS challenge. Everybody's doing
I did mine yesterday.
the ALS challenges, for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
close.
thought it was A&W.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You heard the Cecil?
I heard the
Crazy.
Cecil.
So, everybody's doing that challenge, but we get these trends and everybody starts doing this stuff, but I really like it when it really hits home. And the Tennessee Titans, they took the ALS challenge. They had a former linebacker of theirs, Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed with ALS. Just was 2012 he started feeling the symptoms of it.
Right.
2013 was forced to retirement, and the Titans did it in honor of him. And I really felt like that was cool. I mean, this kid took it and then challenged them, and it's one of those things that's anytime you see that, it's very uplifting. Like I like to see these good sports stories because, like you said, there's so much negative that goes on, and it's good to see a good sports story. So that's a good one out of Tennessee right there. Them doing it in honor of a former linebacker, and then also I gotta give a big shout out. We got UFC Fight Night 52. I'm a big UFC fan.
Oh,
Roy
okay.
Nelson, Mark Hunt, they're going to be fighting September 20th at the St. Thomas Super Arena. Pick up your tickets at your local ITT office.
Or Air Force ball tickets.
Or, is Air Force Ball that night?
Same night.
I'll be at Tama. I'll be at the Tama Hills Championship
I'm
that
not
same
good.
weekend, so I'll be there.
Yeah, Air Force Ball. Hey, gentlemen, I do got to say thank you very much for coming on the show this morning, and it is a pleasure having you guys on. Thank you very much. You did fantastic.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom. I think she's listening live back in Columbus, Indiana. It's her birthday today, back in the States. So happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mama. Mama R-Smoothe. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to my beautiful wife, Erica, Tech Sergeant Erica McCagran. I know you're listening, babe, and thank you for dinner. You're amazing.
Look at him. He's setting up for
man.
future dinners. Look at that. Ducky, no special shout-outs for you, huh?
Nah, no shout-outs, but, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I had
been
fun,
fun.
Not a problem, gentlemen. You guys did fantastic. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll be wrapping up the show here in a moment. Got your weather, yin rate, and a couple more songs before we wrap up the morning cruise control.